Imagine you could turn your passion into a profitable online business. That's exactly what happened with Bella Johns, founder of Bella Marie Ballroom on Instagram. Bella came to me with 100,000 followers and inconsistent revenue. She said something along the lines of, well, I have all these followers, but the dollars aren't reflecting through my digital product sales. Within the first 90 days of working together and joining CCA, she made over $14,000 selling one low-ticket digital product priced around $100. Then, in the next 90 days, she made close to $50,000 and grew over 200,000 followers. Now, 1 year later, she's fully monetized her personal brand as an online dance instructor, nearly 500,000 followers on Instagram, and signing brand collaboration deals for $10,000 plus per deal. In this episode, she reveals how to build a community and how she turned her love and passion for dance into a six-figure business on its way to seven figures. In this episode, we talked in her first 90-day sprint, and now, a year later, I'm here recording this intro, and she's even sharing moments like this on Instagram. So let's dive into all the juicy details.
Yeah, after talking with you and hearing what CCA was all about and just how value packed it was in the community element, it obviously was exactly what I needed. It was the missing puzzle piece that's really blown everything up, which I'm so grateful for.
All right, Bella, welcome to the show. Can you tell a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and what your business is?
Yeah, absolutely. So I essentially teach ballroom dance, but more specifically, just any kind of social dance that involves partner work. So you're thinking like your classic salsa and bachata is pretty popular, but I specialize in foxy and in hustle, which are really, really beginner friendly. And I'm a big believer in how it can really highlight a unique kind of intimacy in a relationship and bring about just all kinds of memories and open up a lot of unique doors, because that's sort of my journey with it. So that's what I do.
I love it. And I'm just thinking back while you were saying that about the first time we connected, because I, like, every day spend about 10, 20 minutes going through my new followers and just trying to reach out to like as many people that I can to be like, hey, thanks for following me. Like, so nice to get to know you. And that's actually how I met you. Was I was
Yes.
going through my followers and I was like, hey, like, I just saw you followed me. Like, yeah, this is me. Like, I take time to do voice notes. And yeah, so I just met you because I had reached out to you and we were chatting there. And it's just so amazing to see kind of like everything that you've done with your page. I think when we first started talking, how many followers were you at?
Yeah, I was at 195K about a month, or not a month ago, but when we started talking about 4 months ago.
Wow. And now how many followers are you at?
290. So almost
Wow.
exactly 100K in the last 4 months.
That is amazing. So tell the world a little bit more about like your courses and what you teach like in dancing and really like your business of like, I know you have some in person, you have some online stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, two e-courses that are out currently. One is just a slow dancing 101. So it's sort of like a hug and sway plus. It's for like major beginners who maybe feel a little bit intimidated or a little bit nervous, but it's intended to be a completely at-home date night. The course takes maybe an hour to work through and practice and feel confident, but you're just working through 5 different slow dancing moves that are essentially making it where you can ditch the hug and sway forever. The one that was released literally like a week ago is sort of the counterpart to that. So it's hustle. And I know when you hear hustle, you think like Bee Gees, like 70s hustle. It's not like that. It's more like swing. But it's designed just to be that really beginner friendly, like ease into it level. So if you do that course, it's covering more like mid tempo to more upbeat songs. So the idea is that if you do both, you're a very, well-rounded dancer, because you can dance to your slow music, you can dance to the faster. But then on the in-person side, I have teachers that teach for me in Atlanta, in Chicago, up here in New York, and in Nashville. So I've got 7 ladies that are on my team currently who teach and specialize in wedding dance lessons specifically. So they're doing first dance, father, daughter, mother, son, stuff like that. And I'm so proud of them. They're so amazing and just phenomenal. But we wanted to offer a really premium service because the ballroom world isn't really focused on taking care of them. So, we specialize in the nuances, like how is this going to work in your wedding dress and not stepping on it, and what's the size of your dance floor and all of that stuff. And then finally, just kind of along with that, I do personalized first dance e-courses for people that like my style and like my choreography, but aren't close to one of my teachers. So they'll fill out a questionnaire, we'll hop on the phone, really understand what their vision is, and then I'll choreograph and send them, an entire e-course that's just theirs for them to be able to have their choreography.
I love that. So let's take it back a step because you have a beast of a business. And I'm like, girl, this is amazing. Like you have online, you have one-on-one, you have a team. Like you are such like a badass female entrepreneur. And I'm just so proud of you to see like you bringing it more into the online realm. So let's take us back a step. Like, how did you get introduced to dancing?
Yeah, so I started dancing when I was like 2. So mom put me in the ballet world, and that was my start to it. But when I hit sort of my teen years, like it was very clear that this wasn't just something that my parents were forcing. Like it was the hobby of all the ones that I had tried that stuck with me the most. But as it came time to sort of figure out, like, is this something to do seriously as a career? The ballet world is definitely a little bit more restrictive in terms of their expectations for like your height and your weight and your ability and all of that stuff. And I didn't really hit the like markers on that. I'm 5'7" and I'm not like twig thin. I'm a little bit on the curvier side, so it's not I didn't fit like the bill for that. So I kind of had to figure out how am I going to pivot from this and find a different style. So when I was 16, 17, I wandered into a ballroom studio back in Atlanta and just asked about taking lessons. And very quickly, they asked if I wanted to teach. I was like, yep, I'm all in, sign me up. So started teaching. And then the rest is history from there. I went to a couple different studios, and then I just fell so in love with it and knew that I needed to do my own thing.
I love that. So when did you open your first studio?
Yeah, so that was pretty much at the very beginning of the pandemic, which was a pretty big risk for sure. But I had some really great mentorship opportunities through a startup incubator through Georgia Tech
Mhm.
down in Atlanta, and
Cool.
one of the really cool things or elements of the ballroom world specifically is that all the studios are either open or closed. And if they're open, that means that independent instructors can essentially rent floor time as opposed to renting out an entire building. So it was
Mhm.
really nice for me to keep my overhead low. I didn't have to actually find my own space to open up. I was able just to rent on a per lesson basis, which was
Oh,
the
wow.
very original beginning business model was, can I hire really strong, powerful, creative women who love and love dance as much as I do, but keep rental costs really low by renting from these open studios all over.
That's amazing. So let's fast forward a bit right now, right? So it's like you open the studio, you like found your niche, you found your passion, all this intertwined. And then we start talking, right? And we're talking about like, oh, like you have this awesome Instagram page, you have this awesome community, like they're engaged, they're liking, like you have the followers, you have all the things. And I'm like, so where's your course? Like, how are you monetizing? So tell everybody a little bit about like where you were when you were first considering joining CCA and what was like the catalyst for why you wanted to join.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had dabbled in some e-courses, but I really did not understand the strategy behind it. So by the time that I got to speaking with you, I was on my third iteration of the Slow Dancing 101 course. And the good news is like I had learned stuff along the way in terms of like just good audio quality and like different elements of that, but I had no understanding of how to actually push it in a way that made sense, in a way that felt like authentic to me and my audience, not being like that too salesy, but also wanting to
Mhm.
make sure people knew that I had this product that I was really, really proud of and felt like could provide a lot of value. So my e-course sales were really sporadic, like really up and down, like, but it was very minimal. It'd be like, oh, it might like make 1,200 this month, but then it would make 400 the next because it was so
Yeah.
inconsistent. Wasn't any strategy behind it. And so when I know we had sort of, there was a lot of like synergy and alignment reasons that we found each other for sure. But I knew I had just literally moved up to New York. I was like in the car on my way up here when I found your account and followed you because of different connections. And I had sort of just started to let go of the idea of going the more influencer route to be more in the digital space because I knew I had a quality product. And in talking with you and just finding there was so much alignment and you're doing exactly what I was needing, that gap behind the strategy and the understanding. And you were just so wonderful, like so impressed that you reached out and your voice note, like that personal touch and everything that you teach, like you do authentically, which is so great. And just, yeah, after talking with you and hearing what CCA was all about and just how value packed it was in the community element, it obviously was exactly what I needed. It was the missing puzzle piece that's really blown everything up, which I'm so grateful for.
I love that so much. So this has been like an awesome evolution. Like they didn't even get the cake yet, like the icing on top of the cake of like really how you've expanded this community. So walk us through. So you joined CCA. What was like your first step in building, the new vision of what now Slow Dancing 101 and Hustle 101 is? What was like step one for you after you joined CCA?
Yeah, so step one for me was sort of going back through in a lot of your education and talking about like mindset and value packed and just triple checking that like everything was marking off or checking off the boxes in that way. But then from there, it was really just very clearly going and implementing the strategy and the steps of migrating the course to a platform that is very user friendly, very easy for people to connect and be a part of the community, having automations in place in addition to how to execute more personal touch, and then just realizing that I can authentically sell every day without feeling like I'm doing anything wrong or feeling like it's out of alignment for me, and just understanding more about what that looks like and how it's reaching different people and if they're seeing it a lot and all of that stuff. So it really just filled in so many gaps in my knowledge about how to utilize organic reach to convert, but as well just make sure value packed, authentic, ethical, and well rounded.
And that's the piece that I see in you is that like after you joined, it's like it all clicked for you in terms of conversions. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people see where it's like, I have the followers or I have the community, or like even people are just like, I have 1,000 views, I have 2,000 views. And it's like, those are potential buyers. And I feel like that was the light bulb for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. And just again, like I knew what a powerhouse social media was because I saw how much that skyrocketed the in-person side this time last year. My other account that was specifically for the wedding dance lessons
Mhm.
took off, and we saw our numbers like 5x as soon
Wow.
as we hit it off in social media. But even then there was no, I knew it was powerful and I knew I had found a formula that worked for me in the like value and education I wanted to provide through the content, but I didn't know anything about the back end or really understanding it. So I think just putting it into clearer terms and understanding the power behind it and how to utilize it was really what was missing, that I think CCA really helped with a lot.
I love that. So now let's get into like the nitty gritty. So Slow Dancing 101 before you joined CCA was kind of just like a do it yourself course, right?
Yes.
And then when you joined, can you talk about like how you shifted things and really like what was our strategy that really helped you skyrocket and then of course bring us to where it's at now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think before it was just very much low touch. So again, I might like sell every now and then, and I would have people that would use it and I would get good feedback, but I wasn't connected with the people that were opting in or anything to that degree. So now it's very high touch throughout the entire process. So from the moment that they wind up in my DM because of a keyword, I love to follow up with the voice note that you did. Like, that just makes such a huge difference to me, of that personal touch. And I find that people respond to that so positively. And then from there, when they are onboarded onto school, because it's a community, we have like the feed where people can ask questions and hype each other up, which has been so fun, because I had a gal who really made like a fun dinner date out of it. So they had like a little picnic indoors, and they took a picture
Aww.
up and posted about it, and everyone was able to like hype them up. And I just thought that was so cute. Another couple had used the course for their first dance, and after their wedding, they came back in and posted like a photo of a dip that they did. And they're like,
Aww.
"We really nailed it." So I think just the engagement of the people within the community, as well as obviously now they're connected with me on Instagram DM, but there's the actual direct chat within the platform itself. So just following up and checking in, how's this going? Do you have any questions? And keeping and fostering the relationship throughout the entire process. I think, of course, not only makes them feel like it's value packed and they feel really taken care of, but it's just so helpful on my end with consistent feedback coming back in, checking in with them, hearing how it's going. So it's much more involved in a very good way, not in like a overwhelming or stressing way.
I love that. Oh my God. So this has been amazing just to see it go from like a few inconsistent sales to now this massive community and really like this movement. And like, we're just getting started. Like, there's just so much growth potential here. Like, this is totally just phase one. So, can you tell everyone a little bit more about the specific results that you've seen since joining CCA in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I joined CCA in like right in the middle of August, again, I had just moved up here and it was just completely new. Within the first 2 weeks, I think I did 2K or 2,500 in sales on just the Slow Dancing 101. Hustle wasn't in this. So already just went from nothing to consistency in terms of like just seeing sales roll in day after day because of the consistent selling. Then first full month of September did 5K, so sort of extrapolated from those first couple of weeks, which was really exciting. And I was just so excited that it was consistent and it wasn't
Yeah.
just this up and down thing. And then in October blew up and did 11K, and there, I know there's like 2 more days left in November, but we've done 14.5K this month.
You are such a rock star. I am so proud of you. And just the community, the energy, like this movement that you're building, it's like those numbers are amazing. Like, congratulations. Like, I really hope you take a minute to just like stop, smell the roses, and celebrate, because you blew this up. Like, this was massive.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've just been amazed by the response to it, and it was genuinely and truly my dream. I love that you use the word movement, because when I was 16 at that first studio that I was at, I told my manager at the time, I was like, I don't know if this, because I guess this was back, man, I mean, it was pre-pandemic, but it was like we were getting into the
Mhm.
2020s. And I was like, you know, what'd be really cool is if in these 20s we could bring back dancing like it was in the roaring 20s, when just everyone knew and it was more of a social norm to know how to dance. And that was, yeah, at every party and every event, there was live music and there was dancing. And, you know, at the time, like I was brand new. I didn't know what I was doing. So I think it was kind of brushed off, but I've held on to that idea so hard. And when it came time to start doing my own thing, and I started realizing that, you know, there's power in the digital space and digital products and the value you can provide and the people you can reach, it just sort of clicked with me that, like, oh my God, I could actually do this. Like, I could actually bring about a movement of people where this is a norm. And every day that I get onto school and see, like, right now there's over 500 people within the Slow Dancing 101 course, and that just makes me so happy that there are 500 couples out there who are never gonna hug and sway again. Like, they're gonna be the envy of every dance floor, and whenever they go to a wedding, their friends and family are gonna see that they're not doing the hug and sway and be curious about it. And so I'm just excited to see how it compounds, and I have such high hopes for where this will go ultimately.
Bella, I am so proud of you. This is so inspiring, really, like even for me to listen to, just like that passion to purpose. Like that's really what I'm hearing for you, that it's like your success is just a byproduct of that. Like a byproduct of you wanting to impact, wanting something bigger than yourself, and it's like the success will always follow that. So I'm so proud of you. Now, I want to know from you, if someone's on the fence of CCA right now and they're like, is this for me? And maybe I clicked onto this video because I want to know a little bit more, what would you say to them?
Oh my gosh, do it. 100% do it. Like, I cannot speak highly enough of CCA and what you, Julia, are doing. Like, it's so powerful. And when I say she is the queen of value packed, I mean, this girl, amazing. Absolutely amazing. The community, the support, the information, just the sheer knowledge and how it's presented, all of the supporting elements to it. Like, I genuinely cannot, I just, it's been amazing, exactly what I needed and what I'm so sure so many other people need too. But if you're on the fence about it, you're there for a reason. You probably have your passion, your purpose, what you're doing, and just having such a strong, supportive group with such amazing information. Yeah, do it. 100%. No hesitation. Just do it.
Thank you so much, Bella. And if people want to find you, they no longer want to hug and sway on the dance floor, how can people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, best way would be via Instagram. It's just at Bella Marie Ballroom. That's it. All one word, obviously, no periods, underscores, anything like that. But then if you're interested more in the wedding specific, then it would be at First Dance Coaching on Instagram.
I love it. Thank you so much, Bella. Thank you for being here. And I'm so excited to watch the rest of this unfold.
Yay, thank you so much. I'm excited too. I can only imagine.